Welcome to the Meetings Podcast, the meeting organizer's podcast source for what's new in the meetings and events industry. Meetings Podcast is a conversation with a variety of voices that looks at events, meetings, and media. Meetings Podcast is sponsored by IMEX America, America's worldwide exhibition for incentive travel, meetings, and events.
Welcome back to the Meetings Podcast. This is Mike McCallan from Grass Shack Events and Media, and we wanted to welcome back to the show the founder and CEO of Song Division, Andy Sharp. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Mike.
Song Division is a musical team-building, audience-engaging, creative music agency.
Correct. and then and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But that covers a lot of it.
Right. So the last time you were on the show, that was 4 years ago. And I wanted to have you back on because I'm seeing how successful you guys are. You're hanging around with Richard Branson now. Things are really are great.
Things are pretty good. We're pretty happy.
That's great. So,
yes, but not complacent.
No, of course not. And so first, I think what I'd like to do is refresh the audience on exactly, give the kind of the pitch on what Song Division does.
So we specialize in providing unique and tailored music experiences to the corporate meetings and events market. So that will be anything from doing big team building events where, it might be 500 people at a Microsoft kickoff and one afternoon we'll split them into 4 groups and each one will be given these amazing session musicians who play with Prince and Lady Gaga, and they will collectively write an original song about their business objectives, why they're there at the conference, what they're all talking about in the breakouts and the general sessions together, and they'll write an original song about it and then come back and perform it in a big Battle of the Bands rock concert, which sometimes that concert will be the entertainment at their big gala awards dinner. So, team building events, we're also covering the entertainment, the band's playing, the big 2-hour cover set, getting everyone on the dance floor. For the gala awards, we're playing the winners on and off the stage. So it's like a real live, exciting Grammy Awards experience. And then we've got other, music-based offerings like a rock and roll game show that's sort of tailor-made to, again, be lots of fun, but help the meeting planners achieve the event objectives. And then we've got it's all music based. There's no plans for golf division or my dad's still keen to set up gardening division. So
wow, that's great. Yeah, and I've seen you guys a couple of times, and I saw you for a Genentech event here in San Francisco, and I was amazed at how it tied into the whole theme of the event. It was kind of there was an IT thing. I don't know, I'll go into the whole thing, but I was amazed at how receptive the audience was to it. They were all up, writing the song with Angus, who was doing it, and the guys who were in the band were all just really, really good.
Yeah, they're all top guys. That particular band, Angus Clark, who's our general manager of North America, he moonlights as lead guitarist in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra come holiday time, but he runs all our big events and the business here in North America. And that Genentech event, which I wasn't at, but have heard a lot about. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because you were there. It was about 1,000 people, and it was their whole IT division, and they were submitting lyrics via an iPad app, which I think it helps if your CEO happens to be the chairman of Apple as well, which I think the Genentech CEO is. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that, but it was very, very cool, and they did have it up on the screen. And Angus was really good with the audience. They brought somebody out that played the guitar, played with the band, which was really fun, and everybody really liked that. And then I've seen you at an MPI event also. That the people were really excited and fun. And I didn't know, the things you just said. I didn't know you guys did for like award shows and stuff. I just recently was involved in 2, and same thing. Like we used, canned, music, but what a difference it would be if they had a real live band.
We do a lot of awards programs. So each year a company will bring us in for their their annual conference, and then we'll play the Gala Awards program, and then And then, they might say next year, look, we've done the songwriting experience with you. We want to do something different, and that's where we've come up with our different products, like our rock and roll game show, and You've Got Talent sort of offerings. But each year the band is still playing. Is playing all the award winners on and off the stage. So it's like the Letterman Show band or the Roots off Jimmy Fallon, and the
right.
musicians, as I mentioned, we've got the biggest network of top session musicians on the planet. So they're all, the guys and girls that you see on TV in those TV shows, and the house band for The Voice or American Idol and those shows. They're the musicians that we use. So they're extremely sharp and talented and quick, and they respond to whatever's going on at the awards program. So if one of the presenters mentions something about it's we're all here today and we're family, the band will very subtly and quickly break into We Are Family, and they'll play. Whoever wins the award, they'll always play a song that sort of matches the mood of the event, and it really people. Those award ceremonies, not pointing out any one in particular, can be pretty long and a little bit tiring,
yes.
and a lot of the times the song division band is the highlight of the awards program, and our guys enjoy doing it.
That's great. So I know recently I saw on your website or blog or on Twitter or something that you now are like best friends with Richard Branson, which
That's
I thought
correct.
was kind of cool.
It was actually on the New York Post the other day. I was a bit worried when it came out in the Post. I wasn't quite sure what dark secret was going to come out.
Yes. So tell me about this whole experience that you just recently had.
Well, we've got, as people may have picked up from my accent, I'm Australian and started Song Division 10 years ago this year in Australia, and still got a great team out there, and we had an event in May with Virgin Australia, which is the sort of Asia Pacific airline of the Virgin Group, and Sir Richard Branson was coming to town and was going to do a meet and greet with the 1,500 employees at Virgin Village up in Brisbane in Australia, and so Virgin contacted us and said, look, we want to do something really different, and he travels around all the time, and we're not quite sure if he knows what city or country he's in. We want to make sure that he remembers his experience, and our employees have a really fun interaction with him. So that was basically the brief. And so what we came up with was a campaign leading up to the meet and greet. Because, I guess what we're known for is creating a song on the spot. And we always look at the event and gauge it and see what's going to work. And we figured that, Richard Branson coming in for a 45-minute meet and greet with 1,500 people, creating a song on the spot might get a little bit lost in translation. It was an outdoor event, potentially a little bit windy. And so just to make it really clear and fun so everyone knew what was going on, we did a campaign where 2 weeks from the event, Virgin sent out an email to the 1,500 employees saying, Richard's coming to town. We want to do something really special for him. So we're going to write an original song about why we love him and why we love working for Virgin, and we need your help with the lyrics. So, send in a 4-line poem about why you love Virgin for the chance to actually, and if your lyric gets accepted in the final song, you'll be on stage with Richard, and we're going to perform the song with some of the best musicians on the planet. So that email went out, and I think we got about 300 responses in the first minute, including people's photos of their Virgin and Richard Branson tattoos. They're a fairly
wow
passionate bunch, and so we got all these great lyrics. We wrote this song called "Rocking the Sky," and the lyrics were pretty funny. The first couple of lines were, "My parents told me I should be a surgeon. I said no way. I'm working for Virgin." which we felt was pretty funny, and it was a really cool sort of Barry White funk jam. And so we went into a studio and recorded the song, and then sent back out to the Virgin employees, and so that they could put that in their headphones for a week and learn it. And
what a great idea!
So it was like everyone. And the theory was how do you personalise a meet and greet between one icon and 1,500 people? Because normally when he turns up for these things, a few people get close to him and sort of rip his clothes off, and that's it. I mean, he actually does get mobbed like a like a rock star,
Yeah.
which he is. So the plan was to write this song so we could actually get 1,500 people saying hello, and the chorus is, hi Richard, thanks for dropping by, and we'd get 1,500 people. There was a breakdown in the song where our lead singer goes, when I say Richard, you say hello, Richard, hello, Richard, hello. When I say Virgin, you say rocks, Virgin rocks. So it was a real call and response thing where we had 1,500 people singing this funk song with Richard Branson on the stage. So they, leading up to the event, they had it in their headphones, and then
wow.
half an hour before he turned up, the Song Division band came up on stage and played a bit of a fun set for the audience, and then we rehearsed the song, and then he turned up. And the band, he turned up whilst the band was playing. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Bit of AC/DC. And actually, the guys actually put a guitar on him, like a guitar, which is for any guitar heads out there. It was a Les Paul custom, very nice. It's probably worth about $6,000. And
wow.
At the end of the song, he sort of went to smash it as a joke, which he didn't. Which I think, which our lead guitarist's thought process at that time was, smash it. If you smash it, I can auction it off. It's going to be worth a lot more. But he didn't. So and anyway, and then our guy said, hey, your fantastic crew here have written you a song. Do you want to hear it? And he said yes, which was fortunate. And and everyone sang him this song, and he loved it, and he was singing along, and ended up crowd surfing.
How funny! What a great idea!
It was a classic. So yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed that, and there's footage of it, and he blogged about us about 2 weeks later, and put up some footage on his website, which we were pretty chuffed about.
That's very cool.
And he called me, which I don't know if anyone believes me because I couldn't record it, but he did call me from in the limo on the way to the airplane. He called me to say thank you. So we are on a phone relationship
basis.
Number
now, so you
yes.
You
well, I have his PR agent's number. I keep calling her. There's no answer.
Put Richard on. I need to talk to him. That's so fun. And so did you know, was that just a surprise when he was on the phone when he called, or what?
It was, yeah. No, he called, and his one of his team said, someone wants to speak to you, and he jumped on and said hello, and yeah, it was a buzz.
That's very funny. How great! What a great story! What a great idea! What a creatively great idea! Creatively, what a great idea!
We were happy with, and they're the ones that we enjoy the most, is where a client comes to us and they've got, as all the meeting planners know, every event's completely different, and you've got to treat them on their own merits, and you're always competing with different risks and challenges, and where's the food going to be served, and what's the AV going to be, and who's the audience, and when are they going to turn up, and how are we going to get their attention, and how are we going to stop them from being too attentive, and all those things. And so each event, we've been doing it for 10 years, so we've got lots of experience and tricks up our sleeve, and we know what works and what doesn't work. But each time we learn a lot on our end, and so when we get a brief like that, it's always fun coming up with something and working on it as a team, and then I guess executing it. And you've done it right when he's crowd surfing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
that is hilarious. It's so great. I guess that's great because you are so scalable. You can do big things and little things and everything in between.
Yeah. We just did our first event. I'm based in Vegas, and we just had we've been working in Vegas, and we've got a great team here since for 3 years. But we just had our first event with the lovely MGM folks at the Garden Arena at MGM. So that was a big event.
Wow,
that was fun. And then we do events, sort of learning and development events in recording studios for 30 executives. So we do small, cozy, intimate events, and big ones with thousands of people.
So that's new stuff then. You're doing branching out. So tell me a little bit more about that, and what other things that are new that you guys are doing.
The new offering that we have that we're really excited about is our learning and development products, and we've been doing work with corporate trainers and learning and development, and training and development programs for organisations for years, but we've always been brought into a program by a corporate trainer, and they use us as the experiential component of it. But we've about to launch. We've been developing our own standalone full day programs with some top corporate trainers from around the world. So we're going to have a full day sales training program and creativity workshop and personal development programs, and they're all based, led by leading corporate trainers and experts in their field, but it's all done over the songwriting process. So to make it really fun and engaging for people, so they're not sitting there at a desk all day and just being, taught at. They're learning these great lessons from these top corporate trainers, but they're putting it into practice, in this sort of fun, safe environment, but out of their normal comfort zone by writing these songs throughout the training day. So
Very
cool.
We're
very excited about that.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds like a nice offering. So what other things do you guys got going on? I know you have these playlists that I got sent a while back, and I think those are a great idea.
Well, they're free too. So what that is, that's a free resource that we've been putting up a new playlist on our website each month, and it's a resource for event planners, any meeting professionals, AV guys and girls, who are looking for recorded music for an event. So if you haven't quite got the budget to give Song Division to come in and provide all your music with live bands, then people are always looking for the right songs or the right playlists for their events, and so we're making it easier for them so they don't have to trawl the billions of songs on the internet and putting them up on our website. So we've got we're only 3 months into it, but the first playlist we've got up there is for general sessions, so a lot of great songs to play while your CEO is walking on stage or your guest speaker, and that's everything from classic sort of Frank Sinatra stuff through to your high energy AC/DC through to top 40 stuff, and it's all categorized into different genres, and we've even got a section for morning general sessions, so like wake up good morning and some Beatles in there. So that was our first playlist, and the last month was a Great Gatsby playlist. Because I don't know if anyone's done it yet, if they've gone out and just bought the Baz Luhrmann soundtrack, which is amazing, but if you put that on, it's not all 1920s,
right,
big band stuff. It's so we've gone through and picked out the real 1920s theme songs from the current soundtrack to the big Baz Luhrmann movie, and gone back and found what we think are the best sort of Gatsby compilations from original recordings through to sort of more modern day recordings, and then this month we're about to release our background music playlist. So
it's very cool. It's a great idea. I mean, as a producer of meetings, we are always usually we have a sound guy that we can talk to beforehand, but I mean at the show site, but that is always a huge we sit there and not a problem, but it's something we have to do every time, and it's neat to be able just to come and just grab one.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's good to hear. And a lot of people have their own playlists, and a lot of AV guys and girls are out there building up their playlists over the years out of necessity, because you've got an executive 4 minutes before she walks on stage saying, "Hey, can you play something that sounds a little Purple and like Wednesday?" And you're like, okay, but and at least if you've got a resource that everyone knows where it is and they can go to, they don't have to reinvent the wheel. So we're excited about it, and it's an ongoing resource. So we're always adding to the background music playlist and the general session playlist, and obviously we're going to bring out ones for the dance floor, and as time goes by, we'll start adding specific ones. Like songs for Las Vegas, songs for Los Angeles, songs for Sydney, and it'll be fun. And we'd love people to jump on the website and add their suggestions for specific songs or albums and actual playlist ideas. We'd love to hear from people.
Great. Okay. And then what else? There's you guys now are expanding, aren't you?
Well, since we last spoke, when we last spoke, my wife Marsha and I had sort of recently migrated to the States. So as I said, we've got a team in Australia, and we set up in New York in 2008, just in time for the recession. Excellent timing on our behalf, but we survived. We survived that. We're pretty hardened, and now we've got we've got a great team in New York. We've got a great team in Las Vegas and Miami, and we've got teams of musicians all across the US and Europe. We've got a great management team in the UK as well, and we've just last October we had our first big event in South America, in Sao Paulo, with a Grupo Alator, a fantastic company down there, and we have amazing musicians who play with Roberto Carlos and Bebel Gilberto and all the leading top Latin musicians, and so we've just started an office down in Sao Paulo, which we're excited.
Wow!
Yeah, and that event was run entirely in Portuguese, so we're doing them in lots of different languages. We just did our 20th country and our 10th language.
Wow, that's very cool. Very, very cool. All right, Andy. Well, thank you so much for. I know you've been waiting a long time to get back on the podcast.
I have. It's a long queue to get on. I've had to take a few people out to get higher up the queue.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. There is a long waiting list. And so I guess we'll talk again in another 4 years.
I appreciate it, Mike. Well, hopefully have a couple of beers in between.
Yes, sounds good. So where can people talk to you if they wanted to talk to you or Marcia or hire you guys?
If they want to speak with us, in person, we're based in Las Vegas, but we're traveling all the time, and we'll be we're about to head off to BizBash in Los Angeles in June 19, and then we'll be at MPI's WEC in Las Vegas. But in terms of contacting us for all our contact details in terms of availability and bringing us on an event are on the website, which is www.songdivision.com.
Okay, great. Thank you, Andy, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Good.
Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Okay,
All right.
Bye-bye.
We appreciate and thank you for listening to the Meetings Podcast. Please email with any questions or comments to meetingspodcast@gmail.com. Meetings Podcast is sponsored by IMEX America, America's worldwide exhibition for incentive travel, meetings, and events. The Meetings Podcast theme music is brought to you by the Delgado Brothers, which can be found at delgadobrothers.com.